Alrighty, well, thanks so much for having us. My name's Glenys Knight, so I go by Glenn. Please do not confuse me with Gladys, who has also joined Optus. So I'm the Early Careers Talent Partner. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. We're going to be talking about Optus as an employer and then our 2023 Optus grad program itself. Then I'm going to hand over to Hansika to do a bit of a Q&A. Now, I do apologise, my video is not working, but if it was on, I'd also introduce you to my two cats, Evie and Ernie, who you can probably hear, they're right next to me. So I apologise for that also. But let's get started. I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the lands on which we live today. I'm personally on the land of the Kulin Nations here in Paran in Victoria. So we celebrate the oldest living culture and its unbroken history of storytelling and communication. We pay our respects to elders, past, present, and future, and we strive together to embrace an optimistic outlook for the future in harmony across all of Australia and for all of its people. We have just celebrated our 30th birthday, so it's a very exciting time to be considering joining Optus. But when you think of Optus, you probably immediately think of us as a challenger brand to you-know-who. That started about 30 years ago, but today we're really redefining what Aussies can expect from a traditional telco. So our vision at Optus is to be Australia's most loved everyday brand. Yes, we provide mobile and internet products and services around the country, but we're becoming so much more than that, and we're really quite the home of entertainment. In mid-2016, we launched Optus Sport, which is the exclusive provider of multiple different sporting games, including the Premier League and the Europa League. And last year, winning supercar racer Daniel Ricciardo became Optus's chief of optimism. Yesterday, I was absolutely spewing because he actually popped into the Melbourne office and everyone got to meet him as an impromptu little surprise. The one day I wasn't in, but you've probably seen our signs up in Melbourne for F1 starting this weekend, which is pretty cool. And then another awesome thing we've got for our customers is the Optus Sub Hub. So earlier this month we launched Netflix exclusively to our sub hub, so you can bundle Netflix and get a discount. But Optus Sport, Sub Hub, mobile services, products, they're all things that our employees get to enjoy at a significant discount. So we were just watching some of the boxing on Optus Sport the other day, absolutely free because I work for Optus. So that's one of the awesome things you can enjoy, not just as a customer. So internally, we're a part of the Singtel group. So Singtel owns 3 different companies, Singtel being one of them, NCS being another, and obviously Optus here in Australia. So we're a group of more than 27,000 people, and we service Asia, Pacific, Europe, Middle East, and the USA. And we all share a single vision, which is to make every day better. We have 121 retail stores. As of today, we have 7,320 Optus employees, which includes about 50 new grads who commenced this week. We have one of Australia's largest corporate campuses out at Macquarie Park. I was very lucky to be sent up to Sydney a couple of weeks ago where I got to meet the lovely Hansika, as well as the rest of the team. I was blown away by the quality of the campus. It's just the coolest organisation I've been to. So there are heaps of cafes, a couple of bars, there's a gym, there's even a childcare centre. So we really do embrace diversity and inclusion in the physical sense as well as the sentiment. I got there by our employee shuttle bus, which was so cool. I thought Macquarie Park, that is a bit of a leg to get out there. but we have an employee shuttle that picks people up from the city as well as Epping Station. So it's actually a lot more convenient than you'd expect. But we've also got an abundance of car parking, and it's not too far from the train station if trugging along there through the train is your preference. We've got so many cool things that happen on campus as well, which I think is one of the unique things about working at Optus. So I actually wasn't employed by Optus at the time, but for Valentine's Day, they were selling some roses there, which I saw a lot of people had gifted to their employees, as well as their loved ones, so no one missed out. We've got Optus University. So we partner with several different universities and provide certifications to our employees. So this is the technology event. So you can get quite a few different certifications through UX, development, I think I'll get Hansika to speak more on that because I'm not tech savvy. On the 3rd of March, we also had Rainbow Bingo, which was so cool. I was spewing that I'm based in the Melbourne office. And then Your Health Matters. So we've got EAP available to everyone, as well as a plethora of other mindfulness and mental health, physical health, general well-being offers. Can you still hear me?
Sure can.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Technical glitch on my end.
Oh, good.
It happens to us as well as to you guys. So when you're in your assessment days, don't worry if it happens. We're really proud of our partnership with the Mardi Gras. So we're the Premier Network partner for 22 and for 24. And for 23, we're going to be the Premier partner of Sydney World Pride Day, which is really cool. But our DE&I strategy goes well past LGBTQI+. So we have about 83 different nationalities among our employees at Optus. So the other day was World Cultural Day, or Multicultural Day, sorry. And at all of the campuses, we had people bring in different cuisines, and we all got to enjoy something that people made themselves. We've got different prayer rooms if you needed to use that for any reason. We've got meditation rooms as well. We've also got parents' rooms. So if you have brought your child on site to the childcare or you're breastfeeding, and we're working with a number of different partners, including Soldier On. Oops, sorry, that was my cat. Including Soldier On. So we hire a number of ex-defense personnel, and we've also partnered up with a few different organizations to ensure that we're providing equal opportunities to people who are getting on in their career and nearing retirement age. But here are a few shots from the Mardi Gras recently. So you can see down the bottom in the sparkly dress, we've got our CEO, Kelly. She loves getting among the employees. She's really personable. You'll see her just going and plonking herself down at your lunch table to say hello, and it really was a spectacular event. Hansika, did you go?
No, unfortunately I didn't get to go, but I eagerly watched and waited for a big yes sign to come out.
Yeah, there you go. I did steal one of the yes t-shirts, but that's about as far as I got. So we've also got a number of awesome employee events, which again is something that I think differentiates us from other organisations. Because we are out at Macquarie Park and we've got all that space, we're able to have so many different cool things out there. So as you can see, we've had the Optus Arena pop up, we've had some food trucks, we constantly have different musicians. So in terms of hybrid working, I've had the question from a number of candidates of what the expectation is in regards to returning to work with COVID. So we do expect our employees to be COVID vaccinated, and upon employment, you will have to provide a certification to substantiate that. And then we are doing 3 days in the office and 2 at home. So Wednesday is Optus Day, play on words, very original. So on Wednesdays, everyone, regardless of the location, comes in, and we have cool different events on Wednesdays, lots of freebies. Free coffee, things like that, free donuts. I'm going to put all the COVID weight back on that I've been trying to lose just for Wednesdays at Optus, but it's definitely a time to be joining. It's pretty cool. But it's not all fun and games, so let's just get down to business and talk about our tech incubator. So we've just overhauled our tech grad program. What remains is that it is still a 2-year program, and what has changed is it is now consisting of 2 12-month tailored rotations. So you'll be able to join for the first year in your preferred team. So let's just say you've done a cybersecurity degree, then we'll try and align you for your first year in cyber. Hansika's smiling because that is her area of expertise. So you'll do that for 12 months, and then you'll go into a different team, whether that be business analytics, data, development, something like that. And something that is so cool is we don't just use hackathons to bring people in and, assess people. We actually have some different hackathons throughout the year for the existing team members, as well as boot camps. The thing I think is pretty cool for Optus is that you do join as a cohort. So you don't just have these ad hoc dates that a lot of other organizations have. So you start together, you learn together, you have your orientation together, and you can really go on that journey together. I think I mentioned earlier, you're able to attain certifications and that sort of a thing through our Optus U. But if there's anything external that you're willing to obtain, then there's not really any rule of thumb. We just get you to speak to your manager, and we can sign that off pretty easily. So it's a 2-year program, and it's pretty cool, if I may say so myself. So we're going to have Q&A with Hansika, but what I'm going to do is pop up our QR code if you wanted to sign in and have a look at our application page. It's pretty easy. Our applications are open until Monday the 18th, but I am reviewing CVs and video interviews as they come in. So the earlier the better, to secure a spot in our assessment days earlier rather than later is always best. Now, our minimum requirements is, unfortunately, you do have to have a degree, although I heard that there were some other organisations earlier where you didn't. And you do require Australian citizenship or permanent residency or New Zealand citizenship. So, Hansika, thanks for joining me. Can you tell us what you studied?
Yeah, so I actually studied a Bachelor of IT. I did a double major. So one major was Information Systems and Business Analysis. And like you mentioned, my second major was cybersecurity. It's a little bit of everything, I guess you could say.
Amazing. And I hear that you've just recently been promoted. Congratulations. What's your new role?
Thank you so much. I'm a cybersecurity analyst. So it's pretty cool getting to go into the area that I actually came into Optus wanting to do.
That sounds pretty cool, fancy title. How was the offboarding process? Did you get some career counseling and things like that?
Offboarding was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Throughout the entire program, you do get a little bit of career counseling from someone who's called a gradvocate. They take care of all the grads within your area. So you get an IT gradvocate, and she was super helpful in the offboarding process. And there's no dumb questions. This is the first time any of us are kind of doing this kind of thing. So you could walk to and ask, like, what are the changes and expectations going from grad to I guess, lack of a better word, a legit position. So it was really good to get a lot of support throughout the offboarding process.
Awesome, that's good to hear. And before I sort of hear about how you felt about the program, can you tell us why you picked Optus specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, it's a funny story. I used to work in a building opposite Optus campus, and I wasn't very happy there, but I used to see the Optus people within their office, and I used to see like almost every person was smiling. They were enjoying their lunch breaks. You wouldn't see anyone stay overtime. And
Was that because it was a lunch break though, Hansika?
no, it was you seeing people work outside. That was a very foreign concept to me. Taking a laptop and taking a meeting outside. I'm like, this is great. There's a lot of. It seemed like everyone seemed really comfortable. I'd seen pictures of the campus, and I really liked the open spaces. I didn't want to be stuck in concrete all day. Also saw a lot about Optus's culture on LinkedIn, whether, like you mentioned, events, the inclusion, the diversity. Speaking of events, actually about half an hour ago, someone handed me a box of chocolate just
Oh my
randomly.
gosh!
So
what for?
they did an Easter event. So like you mentioned, they had the Harmony Day food a couple of weeks ago. They were handing out chocolate. They just gave me 2 boxes, so I handed it out to the team. So I really
I hope the Easter Bunny visits the Melbourne office, hey?
soon, hopefully soon. So yeah, I really like seeing the inclusion, and along with that, you need to include those that are part of the younger side of the workforce, which is us grads. So got to see that development and how there was a lot of support in terms of our development, which thankfully I got to experience.
Okay, cool. And I know you obviously did 3 rotations as opposed to 2, but can you tell us how you found the program and maybe what the most difficult thing was that we helped you overcome?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first rotation was change management and communications. So it had a little bit of that project management side. We got change management, learn a lot about internal communications, external communications, and then my second and third rotation were actually quite similar. So they were cybersecurity based. The second rotation was more governance based, and the third rotation, was a little bit more technical. So you do security risk assessments based on solution designs. So it was really good to have that flexibility that I knew I wanted to go to governance, but I was able to try the technical side. I wasn't barred from it. And there was a lot of support in you try what you want to try, not, oh, you don't have experience in this area, you can't rotate to this area. So having that freedom to try what you want to try was something that I really liked.
Amazing. I'm just conscious of time, so I've got some questions coming through that I can see. I'll happily stay on afterwards to answer those. But Hansika, if there's any one piece of advice, what's the last thing you'd say to our budding grads out there?
I think someone already mentioned this before. I think it was Daniel, but it's so important to reiterate that. Ask questions, no matter what grad program you're in. It's kind of expected you'll ask questions, so you can get away with it as long as you can. You might as well sponge up all that information you can. There's never a dumb question. It's a valid question, and we're there for a fresh perspective. So a lot of times we're the ones that ask questions that make people who have been there for years go, oh, yeah, why are we doing it like this? There's another way we can do this.
There have been some people at Optus who have been here longer than most marriages, which I find so surprising.
Absolutely. We're here for fresh perspective. We're here to actually make a change. So I really like that.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for joining. So finally from me, just follow that QR code. But if you're interested in roles that have a tech element but are in other areas, have a look on our website because we've got 7 different streams as well. Elliot.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, team. Now, there's a couple of questions that have come through the Q&A. Glenys, if you just want to jump on and type those after. I've also seen a couple come through the chat as well. For the students who answer the questions on the chat, if you just want to copy and paste those questions into the Q&A, and that will just allow Glenys to answer those after this presentation as well. But thank you so much for your time. You've kept it bang on 20 minutes, which is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, sorry,
so
I was
thanks so much
trying.
for your time, team. No, that's all good. It's not as easy as it sounds. So thanks so much for your time, Hansika and Glenys.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Hope to see you guys soon.